Imagine waking up tomorrow and discovering that every single currency on earth has disappeared. No dollars, no euros, no yen, no pesos, just one global currency. We'll call it the ALCAR. Your salary, your savings, your rent, international trade, everything now runs on a single unified global money. It sounds simple, elegant, efficient, and it probably is the fastest way to accidentally collapse the entire world's economy. But let's break it down. My name is Enric Alcaraz Roma. I am an economist graduated from the University of La Sorbonne in Paris, and I welcome you to Alcaraz Economics. For decades, economists, politicians, and people way too deep into the crypto Twitter have floated the idea of a single world currency, a money that every country can use, a system with no exchange rates, no currency crisis, no messy conversions, just one unit of value for everyone. And believe it or not, it is possible actually, at least in theory. So in this video we're going to explore the full scenario, how the ALCAR could be created, why does your uncle at the Christmas dinner think it could solve global problems, and why it would almost certainly create bigger ones. Let's imagine that the world somehow agrees to replace every national currency with the ALCAR. The ALCAR becomes the side legal tender of humanity. And the institution overseeing it would be the global ALCAR Reserve, one central bank in charge of the money supply, interest rates, and inflation for every country on earth. And yes, if you're wondering, this would be the single most powerful financial institution in human history. Under this system, the US Federal Reserve disappears, the European Central Bank disappears, the Bank of Japan, Bank of England, all gone. Every country surrenders its monetary policy to one global authority, me. And this is the core of the thought experiment, because while the dream of a world currency sounds clean and modern, the reality is much more complicated. So let's start with the best case scenario. The idea of a single world currency has always been tempting, and for a good reason. On paper, it solves a lot of global problems. I thought for 5 benefits that the ALCAR would have in the economy. First, it would solve the exchange rate problem. If everyone uses the ALCAR, exchanging money becomes unnecessary. Traveling becomes incredibly simple. Trade becomes frictionless. Investors no longer worry about currency risk. So you could invest, for example, in South Africa without having the risk of its currency, to falling against the dollar or against the euro, much stronger currencies. A global corporation wouldn't need hedging strategies or complex foreign exchange contracts, because there will only be one currency, the ALCAR. Second, there would be no currency crashes. Countries like Argentina, Lebanon, Zimbabwe, or even Turkey constantly deal with inflation or currency collapses. Under the ALCAR, those problems would disappear. No more hyperinflation, no more devaluations, no more local currency disasters, and overall, the world would be better. Third, global trade becomes fairer. The US dollar currently dominates international trade. That gives the US a lot of power, and it gives many countries a disadvantage. A global currency levels this playing field, making it fairer for everybody. Fourth, global cooperation would become easier. If everyone uses the same unit of value, agreements about climate, trade, development, even aid for natural disasters become much easier to calculate and enforce. And fifth, a global currency would mean a first step toward this global integration. That some economists argue that a global currency could reduce conflict because countries, tied together financially, are less likely to go to a war one with another. So yes, the dream is beautiful. Simpler lives, more stable economies, less financial inequality, and easier global coordination. But that's the dream. Now let's talk about the nightmare. Here is where the things fall apart quickly. A global currency works only if every country on earth has the same inflation rate, productivity, labor market, business cycle, even the same political incentives, and that is not reality. Currencies work as the tool that maintains equilibrium between countries. If one country's economy is about to fail, a central bank can avoid this by simply devaluating the country's currency. This is why multiple currencies are important to maintain the equilibrium in the global economy. But what other negative effects would a single currency cause? Well, first, there would be no country that could control its own economy. If you adopt the ALCAR, you lose the ability to set your own interest rates, print money during crises, devaluate your currency to boost exports, stabilize inflation by using monetary tools, and even monetary policy becomes centralized. This is the exact problem of the Eurozone that the Eurozone has faced for years. The euro, in this case, is the closest real-world example to a global currency, but within Europe. In this case, the European countries have similar institutions and similar economic systems that, well, things go more or less the same in every European country. But there have been cases of big crises. Take Greece as an example. When Greece's economy collapsed in 2010, it couldn't print its own money or devaluate its own currency, set a lower interest rate to help them, adjust everything or even adjust inflation later. And it was trapped inside the system built for economies like Germany, far more productive and stable over time. A single currency created massive tension between countries with different needs. Now, scale that up to 195 countries. If the Eurozone struggled, the world would break apart. Second, rich countries would set the rules because, let's be honest, the global ALCAR reserve would not have equal representation. Large economies like the US, China, the EU, Japan would dominate decision-making, as it is already happening in the United Nations, for example. Smaller countries would lose monetary sovereignty, bargaining power, and economic independence, as the ALCAR would become a tool of the powerful and not a neutral global money. And what originally was created to reduce inequality would cause even more inequality. Third, one global shock would mean a global disaster. And as I said before, right now financial crisis can be contained. A US recession doesn't automatically destroy Southeast Asia. But under the ALCAR, every shock spreads everywhere because there are no exchange rates or independent policies to act as buffers. One country's crisis becomes everyone's crisis, as multiple currencies gives us way more diversification, and while things go right, yes, everybody benefits, but if things go wrong, the crisis becomes global. Fourth, fiscal policy would become a chaos because countries couldn't just need a shared currency, they'd need shared budgets, shared taxes, shared debt rules, shared social programs, for example, health, and shared banking regulations, which leads to the final and maybe the biggest problem. 5. Humans are humans. A global currency requires trust, coordination, transparency, for example, shared goals, and many things like, for example, long-term cooperation, but countries struggle to agree on anything. We cannot even get nations to agree on emissions, healthcare, or even basic human rights. Expecting them to agree on money, the core of national power, is nearly impossible. And even if they agreed temporarily, maintaining that unity for 50, 100, or even 300 years, it is almost, unimaginable. But let's be fair and not that pessimistic. It is not totally impossible. It's just impossible right now. For the ALCAR to work, the world would need, first, a global fiscal union, a centralized global treasury capable of supporting struggling countries, for example, harmonized tax systems that countries can have radically different tax regimes while sharing one monetary policy. Third, similar productivity levels, as huge gaps in productivity like between Switzerland and Ethiopia can make a shared currency unworkable. Fourth, political stability, and a government that collapses, for example, in a nation, it cannot be allowed to be in this currency union. 5. A cultural shift, because the idea of money tied to national identity would need to disappear. This is a world where borders matter less, global cooperation matters more, and people trust international institutions much more than they do today. In that universe, a global currency might be possible, but there is another part that is much more realistic. Regional currencies. Instead of one global currency, we might see an Asian monetary union, African monetary union, that, for example, the ECOWAS that is already trying, a Middle Eastern dinar, a more integrated digital Eurozone, and the world may move toward fewer currencies, but not just one. Should the world use one currency? Well, here is the paradox. A global currency could reduce inequality, it could simplify trade, it could stabilize weaker economies, it could push humanity toward unity and stop being killing each other and all these things that are bad. But it would also remove national control, increase global risk, and hand enormous power to a single global authority and require a level of trust that we simply don't have right now. And it might unite the world or break it faster than any financial system before it. The ALCAR would be the greatest economic experiment in human history. But maybe the world isn't the right laboratory yet. So, after all this, should humanity move toward a single global currency? If you enjoyed this video and want to explore more of what if economics or simulations of alternative world systems, please like and subscribe to my channel because it really helps me grow and reach more people. Once again, thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao!